A peerless predator, the lion dominates the food chain in the African savanna. Apart from man, it has no natural enemy. Its size and power have always guaranteed undisputed supremacy. Although great hunters, if lions come across carrion, they'll save themselves the effort of a kill. It is difficult to eat undisturbed when vultures are circling overhead. As it takes almost as much effort to defend a carcass as to capture live prey, it's often not worth fighting for. Especially since at this moment the savanna is littered with dead and wounded wildebeest. The lappet-faced vulture is the only vulture able to tear through hide, but as it's also a specialist in retrieving the toughest parts, the cartilages and tendons, it profits at both the beginning and the end of the dissection. Once satisfied, the lappet-faced vultures make way for the smallest vulture species, the Egyptian vulture. This bird is the perfectionist, the finisher. Its beak is specially designed for picking the minute scraps of flesh that stick to the corners of the skeleton. Its nickname is the Savannah surgeon. There comes a time when meat eaters can get no more from a carcass, and when other types of cleaners move in and start work. Flies try to gain access to the smallest crevices, not for feeding, but for laying eggs. Rotting carrion is an ideal spot for larva incubation. Sometimes they choose a carcass that has not yet been plundered by the larger cleaners. The larvae slowly but surely polish it off through to the bone. However, there are even more efficient cleaners than flies and their swarming larvae: safari ants. These ants are nomads that crisscross the savanna, carrying with them under close guard their food, their queen, and their eggs. A single colony can number over 1 million ants. These are awesome carnivores, armed with jaws that can slice through skin and flesh like scalpels. Once they take possession of a carcass, any animal which tries to dislodge them, be it hyena, jackal or vulture, is quickly discouraged. In their collective zeal and spurred by intracolonial competition, the ants leave behind them a spotless skeleton. On the Masai Mara plain, most of the animals injured during the migration have been eliminated. In time, sun, wind and rain will combine to make the bones disappear. It's now late October. 2 months have passed. In the African game reserves, vultures alone consume several thousand tons of organic waste each year. This natural recycling system does not shock the people who live in the savannah. The Maasai do not believe in life after death. Like many others in this land, they leave the remains of their dead to the elements and to the scavengers. The river is now running clear. The piles of carcasses have disappeared. A few scattered remains serve as grisly reminders of the crossing. Between them, the scavengers have performed a remarkable task. The long-awaited rains will transform the river into a raging torrent, and the banks will be washed clean by the sudden rise in the water level, the season's last great spectacle. After the rains, everything comes back to life, in the miracle of spring. It only takes a few days for the grasslands to become green again, for the dry dust in the air to be replaced by the scent of wet grass. The wildebeest will stay here long enough to grow strong again. Then, in late November, they will retrace their steps and return home to the Serengeti. For this hooded vulture and its fellow raptors, the season of plenty has come to an end. The herds have already begun the long trek back to the Tanzanian plains for calving time. They will have come full circle, but first they must once again cross the frontier, the River Mara. On the Tanzanian bank, the scavengers are ready, and they know their victims rarely miss an appointment.